they'll fill some gaps.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. Yes. So
Big up, y'all.
big up, big up. So where do we go from here? That's the question of tonight's. That's the topic of tonight's show. You know, United, we are in despair after another loss. Lost 4-1 against Newcastle. Not good. And we're back to Europa League. That's our only hope. So we are suffering another crushing defeat, leaving the fans questioning the direction of the club. Under Amorim, I see more and more people questioning his tactics. And in this episode, we will break down what went wrong, the fallout after the loss, what will happen on Thursday's Europa League clash between us and Lyon. It's our final lifeline. And question is, can United salvage something from the wreckage? So,
Fine,
guys,
yeah.
girls, we will be back after the intro. So, see you in a sec. Yes, welcome. It's Monday night, 9 p.m. or 10 minutes past 9 p.m. But sorry for the delay. We had something coming up. My partner in crime, Stu Wally, called in late, called in sick or ill, how you say it. And
He's not getting paid sick pay. I don't care.
Nah, he's not. He's not. But you know, he's a decent guy, and he always show up and sacrifice a lot for this channel. But I know when he say something like this, it's real. So.
Get well, Stu.
Yeah, but luckily for me and you guys, I have Boombaye here, so he will guide us through this show and help us, so we can have a little bit of debate.
With pleasure. I feel like going out, putting my long trench coat on, and doing a hit after that entrance music to the show. And if I had to give you a song to represent where we're going, I'm thinking Chris Rea, "The Road to Hell."
Yeah, Chris Rea. That's a really nice song.
Yeah.
Neil Driscoll is in the house, always coming in early. He comes in and what now at Man United? Who knows? Yeah. But we will come down to it. We will break it down. Hopefully Noradin will join us a little bit later. I've sent invites to Mick Ruby. I've sent invites to Andy Tate. Who knows? Maybe more people will show up during the show. So just stay tuned. Danny B comes in and say hit that like button on the way in with the green and gold emojis. Yes, Glazers out. And who do we have here? We have Johnny K mode coming in and say evening all. Land of despair, but in despair there is the faintest of lights of hope. So let's focus, and that we can do it on Thursday. That's a beautiful comment, Johnny K.
Positive. Strong lineup in the chat there today. We got Yarla, Danny B, Craig Warby in the house, Carlos. Welcome. I don't know Carlos and Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
And Cole, man. Fury. Dave 147, yes, strong Mr. B, is looking good, man.
MUFC Glazes out. Get the rat and snake out. Yeah, and let's not forget the maddest of them all, Mr. Madhouse, coming in with his comments. Always funny. Good to see you, Madhouse. Good to see you.
I won't forget you with that profile picture ever again. Don't worry, man.
Maguire. Beautiful. So I don't know how you feel, Boombaye, after yesterday's game. We lost the game, and you know we had a good debate on United Real Therapy yesterday, but we didn't agree on everything that happened. The thing with Lindelöf, the first goal, how and why things like this happen, and And I was quite interesting today to hearing your take on the goal because you were kind of interrupted a couple of times when you tried to break it down. I don't know if
Used
you
to it.
remember.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah,
That's how we live our life, me and Dino, since we were 11.
like an old married couple.
Oh, yeah, man. That's He's my brother, and I like that though about him. He's you. What you see is always what you get. He's the most transparent human being that um I know,
Yeah,
and I love that about him.
that's nice to hear, and that's the same impression I have on already. I haven't known him as long as you have, but for me, I think he's a stand-up guy. He's a
Yeah,
really
heart
good
of
guy.
gold, man.
Yeah, heart of
Would
gold.
would have been interested to hear our resident centre back's take on that goal, Stu.
Yes,
He's a
yes.
CB, so
Unfortunately, Stu couldn't make it, but
it's all good.
let's just go through it because I want to start with this so we can like talk a little bit about what went wrong yesterday. I know Devilish Tacticos, we went through it yesterday, but we haven't heard Bumbaye's take on it. So if you look at this situation, you see we are trying to play out from the back. If you look at how we are positioned, you see Lindelöf is higher up. He's almost going into a DM position. He's playing with Ugarte, and we have the two wide centre backs holding the lines. And this was clearly a Amorim tactic, pushing Lindelöf a little bit higher up and trusting him to be the ball player in deep in these situations. So let's just run through it. He gives the ball to
That's where
Ugarte.
the problem starts now. Right there, it just started the problem.
It's a terrible pass here from Lindelof. He's under pressure, so he struggles a little bit. Ericsson and Ugarte just hoofs it away in full panic mode. So this was the first, but we saw this a lot of times, Bumbaye, us trying to maneuver ourselves out from the back in really tight areas. So first of all, what do you think of this tactics? Is this the right way to do it?
Not always. Sometimes it's a good idea to just bypass midfield
Yeah.
because they're quite high. If I mean, I can't see the full picture, but I see one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 players there, Newcastle players.
Hmm.
Yeah, there might be even 8 if we can go a bit down to the left, but that doesn't matter. So effectively, they surprised me. They pushed really high. Seems.
Hmm.
They really pressed. So maybe bypass it. We played Thursday,
Yeah.
and we played 48 hours later. They were fresh. Um, and Newcastle, it's not that Liverpool are better, Arsenal are better, City you could argue are not doing great, but maybe. But they come and play in a certain way that allows us to exploit them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, Newcastle have a set of qualities that I felt that we struggle against. They're very strong in the midfield, physical.
They
So,
are.
um,
Bruno
and
Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Tonali,
yeah,
good players.
strong, good,
Good
good
players.
players. So they're a physical team. Even the wings that they have, guys like Harvey Barnes, very direct, very
Hmm.
strong. Um, and I just felt that the qualities that they have would make life very difficult for us. Um, in this way that we're trying to play, sometimes you have to bypass midfield.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
can't always play out, especially if you're watching the game and throughout the game you're not having a lot of success in it, and they're pushing so high. Maybe just go long, use the channels, avoid that danger.
We talked about this from the tactical board, but when we were trying to play out, we pushed Lindelof higher up, almost like in the pivot with Ugarte and Ericsson a little bit higher up than
Mm,
than that again. So
yeah,
under pressure, I think Amorim is relying on these players. But when you look at this lineup, you look at Ugarte, Lindelof, not the best ball players in my mind. So I think we are in a, in a huge
you're missing Martinez.
yeah.
He's good on the ball. I think in that clip you're showing there, that they're very switched on. There's a lot of problems that you can immediately see.
Hmm.
It's we need everybody to be singing from the same hymn sheet. So that clip starts off with, I mean, I don't blame Lindelof too much. By the time he gets the ball back, not only does he take a touch he doesn't need to, Jarvis, the pass back is a bit slow and
Yeah.
not into the space in front of Lindelof. So I think it's Joe Linton is immediately on his back and he
Mm.
gives an awful pass, but now he's right under pressure.
Yeah.
Lindelof is not a disaster when he gets the ball and he has the time that you should have to look up. His
But he
passing
was
is
under
all right
pressure immediately. You could see it.
immediately. So it's not the kind of pass that Lindelof would usually do, to be fair to him. And Ericsson is not expecting that ball there. The guy's right
No.
on him. So it started there. But at the same time, if let's say Ugarte gets it back to him right away, that ball then can go. Lenny Oro's in the wrong place. He's way too far back and he's just watching the game. He needs to be outside of the box as
No,
long.
yeah, but I want to say this is the Amorim tactic. This is how he wants it. As I
What
show
you're
you, as how we have set up now when the Lindelof pushing up and the wide centre back
no,
pushing
no,
out,
that's
because
fine. But
he wants them to push out because then you can push up the wing backs a little bit higher. So
I get you.
effectively, we go immediately into this MW shape in a way, if you understand. So the 5-5.
Yeah, you need.
So I think that's the reason he pushing them out for the wing backs to push higher up.
No, that's fine.
And while you're doing that, it means that the fullbacks of Newcastle can't push.
Can't go up.
No,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and and you will see their wingers being up out here, so will get a little bit extra space and overload centrally. So when
Makes
when they press with, let's say, three guys here, we should be able to get out in a way,
should be able to contain
because
them
we have
all
extra
down.
guys here always. This an opportunity for our number 10s to drop deep and receive the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is the game plan of Amorim. I'm not quite sure if it's what he's trying to do, but that's just my speculations. Danny
It
B
makes
comes in and say
sense.
no ball progressor, and I think we really should have signed Sander Birch this summer. I think he was the missing key to this team.
Where would you play him? Where Ericsson is?
Sander Birch will be the deep lying playmaker, so I would play him
Next to Ugarte.
where Ugarte is.
Where Ugarte is. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on Ugarte?
I think he had a decent game yesterday. It was okay. But he's a little bit limited on the ball, his passing range. He's good on the short range passes and maybe medium passes, but long passes is never a threat when it is comes to hitting it long, as you, for example, see Bruno when he drops a little bit deeper. So I think the only solution now for Amorim is actually to start playing Bruno in the deeper role again.
Do you think that Ugarte has his limitations when he's on the ball and he's been hounded and pressed? Do you think he can look after the ball, or is he susceptible to being dispossessed? I mean, yeah,
I feel Ugarte is a specialist player. Um, he has the aggression in him to win the ball, and I think we need someone like that. But we need someone else besides Ugarte who can do something with the ball.
compliment him. Okay,
Yeah,
that,
complement him.
that's why.
Yeah,
So Ugarte is a part of the future.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, at least in the near future, the next couple of seasons. But I think we can do better.
Mm.
But I haven't seen enough actually to judge him. I think there's potential with Ugarte.
Mm.
Carlos comes in and say we should never have played Ericsson, way too slow, and I think we all agree. We all agree. Nas says I feel bad for Euro. We have effectively destroyed this kid, even when Arsenal were banter. They forced Saliba on loan twice. Mm. Yeah, that's another discussion, and we can come to that later to talk a little bit about about Lenny Euro. So, Bombaye, let's just run through this session fully. So now Newcastle, we lost the ball. We couldn't play out from the back. Newcastle are on the attack, and it's Joe Lind. No, it's Murphy here, and I think it's Trippier or is it Char? And here you see again, we talked about this yesterday. Look at Lindelöf while the ball is coming. He's in good position on Isak, but when the ball comes in, he drops down 5 yards, and I think that makes him lose the pressure on Isak and gives Isak time to have one terrible touch and one beautiful touch over the top to Nali. So look at Lindelöf here. There he goes deep, and we talked about this yesterday. So
leading up to that point, there's a lot of problems. Ugarte's pass is terrible. It puts Lindelof in an imposition. Lenny Oro is too far back in our own box. He's doing nothing there. Harry Amas is way too far back. So when Bruno presses, if he's further up the pitch, he doesn't have the time to even get that ball in. Amas should be there. So they're not switched on. The Newcastle players, if you realise as you play the clip, they're switched on quickly. Now Ericsson is switched on actually. He immediately understands, okay, he gets his man. He's on the right side of him. Bruno goes to press. If Amas presses, Amas is way too far back. He should be on the guy. There's no need for him to be there. He's not marking anybody. You know, when Bruno goes, Amas should be going.
yeah, you see Bruno
So,
go in the press, and Amos is just standing there. But he's young, you know. He's a fullback in heart. He's not a wing back, so he needs to learn the role. For me, I think so.
yeah,
He's,
it's not a like I'm criticizing the young player. It's just the reality
mm,
of this situation. Now, 23, Bruno is there. 23 does his pass, and he's out the game. 23. Ericsson's
mm,
right. Okay, Amas
mm.
should be like right up on the guy that's going to receive the ball. He's not, and Euro
I
is
think he should
already
be at the same height as Ericsson, like here.
here. Yes, at
Yeah.
least there. He's fine if he's there.
Mm,
Now the guy gets the ball. So this is where there was a big talking point
mm.
on the show, and Hamas is still going backwards. No,
Yeah.
it's too much time, way too much time and comfort to pick what you want to do.
Mm.
So at this point, if you play it on just a little bit,
And if you look at Bruno here, you can see he's clearly shouting to Amos,
yeah,
waving his arms and want him to push higher.
press, yeah, press the guy. So here he is. He's got time now. Stop. At this point, Lindelof is anticipating a ball in behind him.
Mm,
That's what I felt. It's a lovely space to dink a ball over there.
mm,
Do you know? It's definitely an option. So Lindelof commits and anticipates that, but Isaac at the same time actually drops off, and the pass is instantaneous.
mm,
So it's very difficult. And from there, now it goes over to Lenioro. Again, he switches off. He gets sold a little movement, and here comes your goal.
mm.
So Lindelof was like murdered for this. Okay, you know, you can do, but I think he's genuinely anticipating a cross because the time that this player has, the
Mm.
space in behind the centre backs, and that the fact that, you know, one of two players, Isak and number 11, can run into that space and attack the ball is a problem.
Yeah.
It's a bad position to be in. So here we go.
Yeah.
So that's you know I
And
see.
also you can see here Tonali comes down, makes a little feint, and
Yeah,
he
drags
opens
him
up a
out.
little bit of space for Isak. So it's also a good move from Tonali.
Mm, good player.
Yeah.
No, gone.
Yeah.
Mm,
And Euro loses him completely.
yeah, too late. There's the touch. Lindelof's too late now. He's gone backwards and pum, great goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'll give Newcastle some credit there, but from the moment Ugarte receives the ball, there's mistakes everywhere. I think the problem is too many players are watching they're not switched on. They have to really
Mm.
be switched on, and it's easy to do. You have to be switched on at this level constantly, and there is how your goal goes in. But some people say Lindelof disaster. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But I think I can't put it all on him. It's you can't give guys that much time to just relax and
No,
decide what
no.
they're going to do. You have to put some pressure on. They got so
Especially
many men over.
Isak is one of the best strikers in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
He's the guy we should have gotten. We need a striker, by the way. We can talk more about the striker situation afterwards. Mr. B comes in and say, to be honest, I never rated Ugarte. It wasn't a coincidence that he was benched by two teenagers at the PSG. And yeah, he was never in what's the name of the PSG managers? PSG.
Enrique, Luis
Enrique.
Enrique.
Yeah, he was never in his plans.
Mm.
No, I can't see that. Danny B says it comes down to communication. Do you think so?
It's massive, man. It's so underrated that in football communication. So underrated. Man, you've
Yeah.
got to communicate, you've got to sense the danger, switch on,
Mm.
talk to each other, help each other. If you're going, tell me, switch. You've got to do it. So many times, you play football with grown men, and I don't know, man, they're inhibited. They don't talk, they don't
Mm.
communicate. Destroy the whole team if you don't communicate.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you have to communicate. You need it. It's one of the most important things as a team.
Mm. Mm.
So, yeah, it's a good point for sure. Um, I think with the girl, Ugarte, I've swings and roundabouts me. I think the more we play, the further we go. Minds will change, opinions will change. Ugarte, when he came in, started slow, then picked up, started putting out fires really well.
Mm.
There is a few times I've seen him play the ball forward, but he don't progress the ball. If there's space in front of him, he doesn't know how to take space. So he's a
Yeah.
guy that puts out fires. The problem with Ugarte is he's playing, I think, in Amorim's team. We need ball at feet competencies all round in this type of team.
Mm.
He is not incompetent, but he's very, very limited. He puts fires out all over the place, senses danger, he covers ground really well. Now, Kobe Mainu is good with ball at feet, but Kobe Mainu, I feel, has a problem. He has no agility across the deck. He glides very, very, very elegant player. I like the swagger he plays with.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think sometimes in the six, I feel that we're lacking zip with him in there. So we just don't have the right personnel with all the right qualities. Now Sander
Mm.
Berge, big lad, can move, um, good with ball, can take space if he sees it. It's an underrated quality, man. Some players in football, when space opens up, they they don't know how to just take it. It's a very simple thing when I tell it you.
Mm.
But certain players see space and they gobble it up straight away. They gain yards up the pitch. They're confident to drive the ball, to move the ball forward. Other players are comfortable in the things that they do well. They don't take space.
Mm. Mm.
But the great Bobby Charlton, rest in peace. Um, he says one of the things that um, he was taught, and they wanted him because he had a good shot. If you see space in front of you, take it. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
watch Bobby Charlton play, he takes the space. Any openings, he drives. It's not about being Steven Gerrard. When things open up, don't be afraid to gain yards, progress the ball. If you get within 20 yards of goal, have a dig. So that kind of thing, is I'd like to see that a little bit more as part of our
Yeah.
repertoire.
I agree with that, what you're saying. And I feel that we don't have our players don't have the courage to take the space when it's there. See, a lot of times when we receive the ball, we don't take the space. We don't drive into that space.
Mm.
And I think it frustrates the hell out of Amorim, because I think he wants his players to be brave, to be bold, to do stuff like that, but they're not. They're not. Um, by the way, Rashmano is going nuts. He's gifted 10 Tactical Devils membership for you guys. Thank you, Rashmano. Thank you. Let me just read them out. 10 names. We have Aaron, who's a new member now. Lucian Kid 758. Mr. Potters 5000. Welcome. Loudmouth Football. Elan Samuel Dex Z. And J. Diavard. No, J. Dave Weld. Sorry for slating your name. P. Quedro, Mark N. Big up Mark N. You remember, and Andrew Collins. Yes, so that's the 10 new members. So remember to thank Rashmano for the new membership. Thank you, Rashmano, for gifting, helping out, building the community. And Jay comes in and say, Jarvis, we need a Rashmano channel emoji. Yes, I will be right on that. We should all be able to put that emoji out there. So yeah, and oh my God, Rashmano is gifting another 5 memberships. Wow. It's going nuts. See, I bring it up. 5. I don't have a jingle. I should have a jingle for this. We have Pels is a new membership. Daniel Ahmed, big up Daniel. K1. We have Abdaziz, new member, and Nick Mitris. So, guys, now you are a member. You can use the special member emojis, and I will try to be better at making membership content for you guys. Yeah. Maybe I can bring Boombaye with me and we can do a special membership show for you guys, like 15 minutes just talking to you guys.
Every time somebody gets a membership, everybody has to shout, "Attack! Attack! Attack! Attack!" Attack. Oh dear, those
Thank you,
days, man.
Rashmano. Thank you. You are a legend, by far the biggest legend of the channel, and you are also the chief moderator. So, guys, girls, smash the like for Rashmano. There's some breaking news here from Yale, and I didn't catch this. It's Nypan. We all know Nypan is going to Aston Villa. Yes, we are missing out on the next Odegaard. I agree. I agree. And this source is a Norwegian newspaper. Okay. And Danny B is not happy about that. Nypan is a brilliant player. He would be perfect in this system, but he's apparently is not on our list of players to sign. So it is what it is. K1 comes in as a legend to Rashmano. So yeah. And Rashmano comes in and says, sorry, can't be around tonight, but enjoy. But anyway, thank you, Rashmano, for the gifted memberships. It's been great. You are a legend, a true legend. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So let's just go back to it, Boombaye. We lost the game 4-1. You could see in the second half we lost our, I don't know, our will to fight. And we have seen this before. We saw it against Liverpool, for example, when we lost 7-1, the players just giving up. And I felt a little bit like this. I'm not even mad anymore when it comes to this. I'm getting used to it. If the opposition scores 2-3 goals, just heads down and just wait for the final whistle.
Well, I think, Jarvis, the team knows. I think at this stage in the season, there is a possibility that people know who's coming, who's going, what's happening. And the league is effectively dead. And in that game, you ship 2 goals. I mean, how many goalkeeping mistakes, man, and errors are we gonna have to put up with as players on the pitch?
Mm.
It's too many. There's no difference between Bayindir and Andre Onana. They're not good enough to play here with the temperament or the lack of confidence that they have. Maybe there is a goalkeeper in there somewhere, but we need to find him quickly. It's costing us heavily now. This Thursday night that we're going to get to,
Yeah.
it should have been smooth sailing, really. They're coming here with a lot to play for, man. It's changed the whole dynamic of the game. Two very bad goalkeeping errors. So I think at this point in the league, not the Europa League, um, you know, I didn't read too much into this game personally. I wasn't upset. I just took it on the chin, and I'm kind of rolling with this season. I don't know how everybody else feels. I've accepted the season for what it is, and
Mm.
that is also because it's been a prolonged storm. This, I thought the storm when he mentioned it might be, a period, and then we'd get out of the storm, and then we'd start sailing again smooth. But it seems
Mhm.
that the storm is for the season, and maybe it ends when the season ends, and then we take stock, sign, sell, and we can start to accurately judge.
Yeah.
That's what I think about the Newcastle game, and that's probably what I'm going to think about subsequent games. I don't feel I can really take much away at this point. I know who I want to sell. I know who I want to keep. I know what I'd like to come in. Not
Mm.
100%. I know everything, but I think everybody that watches Man United, you yourself, the fans, everybody in the comments, you all have your opinions on who's going, what we need. Um, the only difference of opinion is some people might be saying Amorim should be sacked because this level of performances, well, results, is unacceptable.
Hmm.
While others are going to be saying, no, I can't really blame him. He's walked into, quite a mess, and he's just only had a left back in a one transfer window. We need to give him another transfer window to see what he can do. I'm
I,
not saying who's right or wrong, both valid, just depends on how you see it.
I have to be honest, Bombay. I dropped by Rants today. Him and Faz was sitting there talking about Amorim, and you know, I feel that a lot of YouTube pundits now are starting to spread doubt about Amorim, and his tactical awareness. They say he makes mistake, he's a serial loser, and a lot of like harsh words. But I agree with your assessment. I think it's too soon. We haven't seen enough. And the squad he inherited after Ten Hag, it wasn't good enough. And I said it all along. We should just have kept Ten Hag at least till the end of the season and then judge, because it's hard. It was hard for me to say if it was Ten Hag or the squad at the current moment when we sacked Ten Hag. But I feel now that I've seen more, I feel that maybe we should just kept Ten Hag at least for the end of the season, because I don't think these players are good enough. I'm not sitting here trying to say that Ten Hag should stay forever, but at least till the end of the season, because we need more info. You were in the other half of the court. You said you talked about giving him like 10, 12 games and then assess. But how do you feel
Who?
about that now? Ten Hag.
So the season before the one that he got sacked, I was on board. I said, no, there's too many injuries. There's too many things I still haven't seen, and I want to discover and be
Mm,
sure. But he started to lose me, like 3 games before he got sacked.
mm.
I started to feel, when I say, 8, 9 games, 12 games, 15 games, a season is 38 games. 10
It is.
games is 25% of a season, more or less. It's 38. Let's just round it up.
Mm,
So within 10 games, when I say that, just to be clear, I'm not looking to be top of the league or in the top four or even the top six. I'm looking for signs that make me feel that although we are not in the position that we want to be, the football that my eyes are seeing gives me hope that with a little bit more time and more work and maybe another transfer window, I think we can start to become a really serious team and finally turn that corner for good.
mm.
I always think Jurgen Klopp, because they were in a similar situation, but they hadn't won anything for 30 years. To like Premier League, we're talking. It feels like a long time to us now, but it has been a long time. 12 years um, is is a long time to have only
Mm,
come second, and with 82 points. So you start to look at Klopp came in, and after on the second year of Klopp, I don't know if everybody remembers. People were starting to say, "Why did we get rid of Brendan Rodgers? There's no difference here." Some Liverpool fans were saying that. He came in, he played the type of football that was, exciting. They conceded a lot though, conceded a lot of goals, and he lost, I think, the Europa League final. Um,
mm,
but with a lot of Liverpool fans, by the same token, they felt a change and they believed it's okay. Hang on, this is the right person. You
mm,
have to, I think, in football, um, as much as I'm allowed to say, guys, everybody relax. You need to give him time. When the results are like this and the football is, I mean, we're not exactly playing great football, let's be honest. We
we're
are,
not. We're not.
no, we're analyzing on a weekly basis signs of improvement,
Mm,
signs of improvement. So we are clutching at straws because we have to. But by the same token, anybody that says to me, Bumbaye, listen, this is unacceptable, I have to say, you're right. So I'm
mm,
not here to tell people they're wrong because I don't think I have the right to. People are right to say, we have no faith that this manager and the way he sees football is going to yield anything in another 12 months from now. And we want to
mm,
cut our losses rather than waste time and money. Go and get De Zerbi, some people say, or whoever. And then there's people like me that say, I completely understand that, and you are correct, but I cannot join your side because we've only had, since November, we've only been allowed to bring one player in, and
mm,
we have a lot of players that we're trying to mold into a type of football that they have never played before.
mm,
So
mm.
I need some more time before I pull the trigger. But Ten Hag, um, I really,
Yeah, but in retrospect, wouldn't you think it would have been more sensible just to keep him to the end of the season and then bring in Amorim and give him a summer window?
Absolutely. I think the display that we've put on since Eric Ten Hag left, I think the position or imposition Amorim's found himself in because he was compelled to come now or never, and he did. He
Mm,
didn't want to come now. That alone, um, retrospectively, tells me yes. If I could go back, I'd have said just keep Eric Ten Hag. Eh,
mm,
Leave it. Let's get Amorim in the summer, and this way you can really drill it into the ground with Eric. Or who the hell knows? Maybe something might have come there, but I daren't not say that. I don't want to
no,
go back and
no.
revise it, but I think 100% I agree with you. I'd have kept him and just brought Rubes in the summer, give him a proper transfer window, and go from there.
Well, what we are forgetting is the toxicity of the club at the moment. Right before Ten Hag was sacked, we were going at each other. Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out. He's got to
Yeah,
go. So
we've been there
in a
before.
way, it was the right move because it comes to a point where it's not what do you call salvageable. So I felt we passed that with Ten Hag. So in a way, it was the right thing. But I would have been more. I would have given him more time, and if I was in the board, I would have gone out early and said Ten Hag is staying for this season, no matter what,
Yeah,
just to kill the debate. Um, Neil comes in and say, I will give Amarim till October, November, if no bad has to go. Yeah. And you said something similar yesterday, didn't you?
yeah, I agree. I mean, what I want here is I've always said that managers that want to be here for 2.5 years, 3 years, or more, I don't put the pressure on that you have to win the Premier League. I don't do that. Or you have to win the Champions League because realistically, even if we were in our pomp, the Manchester City that has been here for the last 7, 8, 9 years is one of the best teams on earth. Liverpool acquired 98 points and didn't get the league. They're going through a transition now. I understand that. And then you have to face Liverpool, a fantastic team under Jurgen Klopp. So there's no guarantees and there's no, I want to compete. I want to win.
Mm.
That's what I say. That's what I say. I don't say if I didn't win the Premier League, it's a failure. I don't do that. We're miles away from that conversation anyway. But a manager has to buy the time that he wants, either
Mm.
through some level of performance, improvement in that performance, consistency down the line, or if there is no performances, then results. But if you are given neither, and we go back to Eric Ten Hag and you spend all this money, and a lot of the transfers are failing,
Yeah.
and the football is awful, and the position in the league is dreadful, then it's very difficult to continue backing him and backing him and backing him.
Yeah. It comes to a point.
It comes to a point, and
Mm.
I think at Manchester United as well, a lot of the frustrations of a previous tenure subconsciously seep into the new tenure. It's like, oh, here we go again. This
Mm.
football is awful. This is dreadful.
Yeah, we
This
have PTSD. No doubt
PTSD.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And then you get to the point, and we've all been there, where it starts off with, no, we should change him. Then it goes into, he's absolutely terrible. Get him out. Get him out. And you get to the point, even I had this with Van Gaal and I had this with Jose.
Mm.
It started off with them, with my mates and the general opposition saying, get him out. It's side to side. It's shit. Then it got louder and then it got aggressive. And then it got to the point where I'm kind of almost compelled. It's so much pressure to just say, all right. But with Van Gaal, I absolutely held on to the last breath. I thought that was the dude that should have had another year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really did. With Jose, I kept
But he won the
fighting
FA Cup. We ended up with him winning the FA Cup, and then he was out the door.
out the
It's kind
door.
of a strange situation.
He had a lot of injuries as well, if you remember.
Yeah,
It
he
was
had. He
terrible,
had.
like
He was
12,
forced
12 of
to
them.
play all those youngsters.
Yeah. And then Jose was the same. Jose, it was different at Jarvis because lots of people hate him before he's even come and want him to fail. And then there's people that are indifferent. And then there's people like me that adore him.
Mm.
So he was the guy that I wanted immediately after Ferguson.
Yeah.
But with him, it became a battle of he is the sole reason why everything is bad. And Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial and everybody else involved in that thing are going to be amazing as soon as he leaves. I said, no, get rid of them. He's the guy you need to keep.
Mm.
And it got so toxic that in the end, I was deflated and I gave up. So this is what kind of happens, man.
We
Hey,
are
it's
on.
such a madhouse. Jose Bombaye. I'm having that. I am having that. I like that. I'm going to
No,
use
no,
that.
no. You.
Big up Madhouse.
Yeah, man, that was cool. Muhammad Ali comes in. The Muhammad Ali comes in and say
Oh,
we got the
wow.
right manager, but at the wrong time, and we should have got him in before Ten Hag, and he would have done better with the players Ten Hag let go.
Yeah.
And I
So,
agree in a way. There's some players we let go. For example, I think Pelestri was one of those guys who would have thrived in this Ten Hag system. A true ball carrier who could be perfect in the number 10. I think he would have been massive in this system. For example, we have people coming in. Big up Noradin.
Sorry, I
what up?
just seen your message.
Yeah,
What
that's okay.
up?
That's okay. We are talking
Bumbaye
about.
been filling in. Bumbaye been filling in.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
Just
Not the
all right.
best. Not the best, but all right.
He's not breathing too hard, is he? On air as well. He's a heavy
No,
breather, you see.
heart rate is cool, man. Now that you're here, already the heart rate's creeping up. Let's see if we can get a word in sideways. People, all
People
downhill
smash the
from me,
like.
I'm afraid.
Smash the like, people. Smash the like. Yeah, smash the like.
Mm.
Smash
Smash
the
the
like
like,
on the
yeah.
video, people. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get Let's get to 1,000K. Let's go. Road to 1,000. Let's do it, people.
So
Hurry up about it.
Dave comes in and say, with some of Amorim's lineups, I'm amazed he thinks he can bring results out of his depth, in my opinion. So, the fan base is starting to tilt a little bit towards Amorim out, but I'm not saying. I don't think Dave is Amorim out, but I think he questions his tactical approach in a lot of these games. How do you feel, Nordin, about Amorim?
My stance is the same. I don't blame Amorim. Is he making mistakes? Is he overcomplicating things like we discussed on here on the United Real Therapy? Yeah, 100%. Before the international break, Bruno was dropped down into the 10. Zirkzee was in the pitch. We like what Zirkzee was doing. All of a sudden, after the international break, Zirkzee finds himself on the bench. Bruno now is going back to number 10. I'm like, why the F are you overcomplicating it? So, of course, he's going to make mistakes. It's his first 3 to 4 months here. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to try to learn. But for me, it's the people who bought him here. They're the people. I'm not. Before I'm Amorim out, I am INEOS out, and I'm already INEOS and Glazers out. So for me, I don't blame him. I said to you when we got him, Jarvis, that he's a very inexperienced to get the job at Manchester United.
Indeed.
He hasn't got that much experience. I'm sorry. He doesn't have a number 2 that knows the lay of the land. He is trying to bring in a system, and the guy that was a director of football said, these players do not fit his system, and it's going to be a terrible season. And INEOS sacked that guy. They sacked him.
Yeah.
They sacked him. So the only guy who was actually telling truth about what would happen, do I think that Amorim has thought it's going to go this bad? No, I don't think anybody thought. I don't think the INEOS thought. I don't think Amorim himself thought. I don't think the players thought it would go this bad. But it's the reality. And if you look at the trajectory of Manchester United in the past so many years, we lost 12 games last season. The season before, we lost 12 games, if I'm not mistaken. In the past couple of years, we'd be losing 12 games. So we'll lose 14. We might lose 15, 16. For me, the trajectory of this football club, the trajectory of the quality and level of player, from what we had with Ollie during lockdown to what we have now is totally different. So at the end of the day, if the quality decreases, in terms of especially the forward players who can score goals, then you're always under pressure, Jarvis. If you haven't got an attack that can score goals, the whole of the team's under pressure. If you've got an attack that can score goals and maybe your goalkeeper's not that great, you can easily, sometimes make it up. Football, there's 11 players on the football pitch. Sometimes if somebody's not functioning, but you have to score goals. And Manchester United have not been scoring goals since Erik ten Hag put foot on this in this football club. This is Erik ten Hag's team. Majority of the squad were bought for Erik ten Hag. This is not Amorim's squad. So we'll see what happens in the summer. People will tell me, but in January, nobody buys players. January is a very difficult transfer window. I don't give a damn. Did that matter to Liverpool? To Liverpool?
There's no value in the market.
All that BS. All that BS. Liverpool. I remember Liverpool signed some of their best players in January. Manchester United signed their greatest. I just made a video about him. He's actually gone by his photo, King Erik Cantona. I've just done a video about him. Was published at I think 8:30 tonight. So scheduled to go live. And he was signed in January. Some of the best signings in world football have been in January signings. So don't give me all this crap. For me, they had to back him. And when they let Marcus Rashford and Anthony go, then they didn't bring him any loan signings. That's when I knew he was in trouble.
We all said it. We all said it. He needed a striker. He needed, and as you mentioned earlier tonight,
he played Kobe in the last couple of days of the transfer window. Benched them both. What more messages is he trying to send to INEOS?
He played Kobe as a number 9 and put Zirkzee and Højlund on the bench.
I think, look, there is an undertone to all this. Nuruddin's exactly right in saying, if you sit back and just think, one of the reasons the segment of the fan base is absolving Amorim to an extent and allowing him allowing this charade to continue till the end of the year to find out what he's made of next season is because he was put in an imposition by the employer to say it's either now or never. Yeah, he came. He wants the job. It's not an opportunity that you pass up. It's a serious opportunity. So he's brought it. He's come in. But I think Amorim is expecting to be backed in the summer transfer market. And this is why he's calling it a storm. And I think this summer will tell you everything you need to know and answer all the questions about the ownership and the relationship with the manager.
Mm.
And you will see the fruits of that on the pitch. Now, those fruits could be lovely, ripe fruits, or they could be rotten. That'll also tell you a little bit about what you need to know. Maybe INEOS has said, look, we know it's not the great time. We need you now. Come in, have a look. Let's get ready. We'll start fresh. They seem to have
Mm.
some confidence and faith in him. Omar Barada says, I found the genius publicly, things like that. So I can't call it yet. This is definitely a long-term plan. We didn't get here in one day. It's been 12 years in the making, this disaster, so it's not going to be fixed overnight. I don't think any manager will be able to come into Manchester United.
That makes me laugh,
Mm.
when you say we found a G.
Yeah, that's what he said, bro.
Genius. All right,
So
Barada.
I don't think we're going to get any manager that's going to come in and within the space of 5-6 months absolutely turn things around. Not going to happen. We keep having a bit of debates about who should have took the job and why, but we'll leave that aside. But I think that is an undertone we need to consider, that they actually do have a plan, and we have to wait to the summer to be able to see it come alive. There's lots of outs are going to go. We're going to see how they perform. They're not going to be easy to get rid of lots of these players on massive wages. And, let me reiterate, it's not fair at a certain point. As much as I don't like INEOS, and I've made that very clear, and as much as I despise the Glazers, and I've made that even more clear, that INEOS come in, there is an element of shit that they didn't manufacture, but they have to clean. And that is, we're going to have to take serious hits on very, very expensive signings that were made prior to their advent. It's one thing taking hits on transfers. Okay, fine. But it's a big cost to the balance sheet and it affects transfer money.
For Bombaye, they've already
But selling these guys,
contributed.
bro, is
They've already
10 times
done
more
worse than the
difficult.
Glazers. The incompetence has already cost the football club 40 million.
I
What are you
understand that.
talking about?
Bro, Dan Ashworth was a bad one. That was a costly one. And Eric Ten Hag, that was a bad one as well. I've already made that clear. But because they've cocked this up totally doesn't mean you drive the club straight to hell. They've got to clean Sancho up. They've got to sort the Rashford contract out. How do we get rid of him? Casemiro, £70 million and £350,000 a week. How do you shift £1 million worth of wages a week in 3 players? They're willing to take 30 million for Sancho. We paid 75. But how do you shift that wage? How do you shift the Rashford? I'm asking myself, we have no option really other than Saudi Arabia. These players are performing awful. Who needs them? Who can afford that in today's financial climate in football? This is the kind of problems that kill Man United. They killed Jose. He mentioned this, spoke about this. Said, man, I come into a new house. I want to get new furniture. We couldn't sell Rojo. We couldn't sell Smalling. We couldn't sell Jones. We couldn't sell Pogba. We couldn't sell Martial. There were so many that he wanted. He's whether you agree with it or not. He was saying to the club, "Look, I am prepared for you to sell players to finance Willian and Perisic and whoever else I want." But we just couldn't even get rid of Rojo because of his 90,000 a week, and that was in 2016, so 2017. So I've got to wait till the summer before I completely sever, the head of INEOS. But I think there is a plan, and I think Amorim, his promises have been made, and I hope that he's we will have a good window and they'll plan it well, and he will get some players, and we can start to see this team develop into what it should look like. That's my hope and why I'm going to be patient.
Yeah.
Has he had enough? Has he got off?
No, he will be back. I think he lost his connection. But guys, girls, we are on 35 likes. Currently 46 people watching on YouTube, 91 on all channels to X and yeah, what else are we streaming to? Yeah. So guys, girls, smash the like. Make us a big favor and press that like button. It's so important. Structure is back, so he is ready to go. I have some updates here. I'm getting all my updates from one man, and that's Roshmano. So guys, girls, if you want, I would recommend.
What's the breaking news tonight? Is there any breaking news tonight?
There is some breaking news, but I just want to tell everybody to go and subscribe to Transfers MUFC. That's Roshmano's own Twitter account, and it's very reliable. He has good sources and reliable people. He doesn't give us all the guff that's out there all the time. So give Roshmano a subscription on
what's
X.
It called?
Transfers MUFC.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's one of the good ones. This is out there tonight. Saudi Pro League clubs were keen on signing Onana the summer of 23, when the goalkeeper only wanted Man United, but the interest has remained and are still active ahead of the summer transfer window. So there is some hope that maybe Onana goes to Saudi. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And there's also this one that came out from a United exclusive, and it says, if Onana leaves the club, I expect Manchester United to sign a talented young goalkeeper. And what comes to mind is Verbruggen, or you have this Trafford guy who plays for Burnley. So how do you feel about the goalkeeping situation now, Structure?
What do I feel about the goalkeeper?
Yeah, the goalkeeping situation. Is it the right time just to try to sell Onana?
I told everybody and their nan about Onana. Who was willing to listen? I went early, really early, and I said Manchester United fans watched him for one game, and they wanted him. I wanted Diego Costa, who's a fantastic goalkeeper, plays for Porto. And I think he's got the age. I think he can develop into the big goalkeeper. But yeah, there are in European football there's about 30 goalkeepers that are better than Onana.
Yeah, but you beside Diogo Costa, he's your guy.
He's the guy that I would love to have at Manchester United. He's an absolute beast on penalties. He makes some spectacular saves. Is he prone to a mistake like most goalkeepers? Yes, in modern game. Most goalkeepers, because they have to play, they make mistakes. But is he going to dash things out? Has he got fundamentals that are got amazing attributes? Yes. But like I said, there are 30 goalkeepers in Europe or in world football that Manchester United can pick from.
Yeah.
For me, the guy that I would want somebody who is safe hands and very reliable. I would try to get Sommer from Inter Milan. I really like him, the Swiss goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's very assured.
Jan Sommer, isn't that his name?
Jan Sommer, yeah. Somebody, I think it's good to have a younger goalkeeper and an older goalkeeper in the club, and then reliable, somebody who's going to give you 7 out of 10. But we're not going to go back to Inter Milan. Somebody like him, somebody who is like him. By the way, we gave them 55 million euros only after 6 months of Onana being there, right? 55 million euros. They went and got Jan Sommer for 5 million.
I'm 100% with Danny Beamy. Always David Raya was my guy.
Yeah.
That was the guy I wanted. I was so impressed with him.
You know, I'll tell you who I'll take. I'll tell you who is way better than Onana. Ramsdale.
Oh, that's not hard. No way, never. Not for
God.
free, I won't take. He's awful.
Ramsdale.
He's awful.
Better than Onana,
well, that's not hard. I'm better than Onana in goal. DL Ramsdale. Come on, man. Listen, what do you think of James Trafford?
His stats are amazing. You know, he's how many clean sheets this
Yeah,
season?
I
It's
rate
like
him. Yeah, I
it's
rate him.
amazing.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, thanks for reminding me. And he's the second goalkeeper that I rate. I think you know actually go and get him, but apparently he's on his way to Newcastle.
Burnley are
But
getting
he's
promoted.
the guy. He's the guy.
But then
I watched
Nick
him in the
Pope is
Euros.
available.
I watched him when they won the World Cup or whatever Euros. That team, that youth team, England. He made the penalty save in the last few minutes. Big pressure, Jarvis. Huge pressure. This is the thing to lose or win or lose the final. And he made a brilliant save.
I agree with Madhouse. The best time to sell Onana was last season.
And I said
should
that.
have tried to get rid.
I said that, Jarvis, but nobody wanted to listen. I said he should be good. I said if Manchester United were a serious squad, Maguire, Lindelöf, Onana, Luke Shaw, all of them would have been.
Yeah.
Cheerio, 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 cheerio. That's what it would have been, but we're not a serious football club. We're not.
No, Onana this
serious
season has had is it nine errors leading to goal this season? I think it was his ninth against Lyon. So no, he's costing us points, and Carlos, you know, he has cost us 7-8 games, and I think you're right. He's costing us a lot of games. So for me, definitely, I would try to sell him and I would almost give him away for free, but we know when it comes to FFP, we need some money just to go even. How much did we sign him for? 55
euros.
55 million euros, and this is now we have 2 seasons. So let's say 10 million write-off a season. So 35 million is euros is what we need for him. It's possible. I think he's on 120k a week, so yeah, should be a possibility, at least if Saudi comes in. But again, signing a young goalkeeper, as the tweet said from United Exclusive, is that the right type of profile we need? A young goalkeeper because for me, I think we need an experienced goalkeeper. I would go for someone like Oblak, as I've said many times. Boombaye, what do you think? Should we go for a young goalkeeper again?
Yes. Well, and then prior experienced goalkeeper as well. Jarvis, why is it with United? Why is it that we can't have two? Like one experienced guy, one younger guy to become the number. Why can't we have that?
Money.
Why?
Money, bro.
We make over 650 million a season, Jarvis.
Shouldn't be a problem. But we have a lot of good young goalkeepers in Man United. We have
Kova by Leverkusen.
Yeah.
It was fit to be great. He's got a professional career now, yeah? Kova.
Look, man, if you're talking about if we're going to talk about realistic signings, we can't talk about this without actually looking at transfers. It's that simple. You can't expect to go and spend £250 million. Players are not cheap if you want good quality players. Now we're looking at the right players. Let's do that. Let's look at the right players. For me, the problem with Oblak, it's going to be too expensive. We need people. You know what I mean? It's very expensive. He's a cult hero, man, at Atletico Madrid. He's a top keeper. But what you're going to get with, I'm sorry, before I get into that, we need a striker. We need wingers. We need good forward players that can, when they're in the last third, they can execute, score goals. We don't score goals. If we actually scored goals, it'd take pressure off the defense and the keeper. But we don't score because goals change games. We get into the last third, we get into good opportunities. Nothing materializes into a chance because of poor play. So that's not going to be cheap, man, to go and sign these guys. And if you're talking about, let's say you go and get Osimhen, I don't know, man. He's out of favor. He's nowhere near that stupid over 100 million that they wanted for him. Now, let's say you go and get him for, I don't know, 60 million. Just let's say, I don't know how much it's going to be. You're not going to be able to pay him 100, 120, 150 a week. He wants money. He's one of the better strikers out there. That's an issue you've got to consider. So when you're talking about great keepers and marquees, I'm always wary with this Manchester United now, because Oblak will gobble up a significant amount of of the transfer budget that I think is going to be available. But what you do get with an Oblak instead of a James Trafford is somebody that is of the type of stature that can shout his balls off at the people in front of him. He can command the respect. This is a quality goalkeeper playing at the highest level, Champions League final, all that business, international. James Trafford might be a super keeper, but he's just a kid.
Mm.
And in front of him is Maguire, De Ligt, lots, much older guys. Just that alone, the fact that they're a lot older than him, or older than him, would maybe keep him in his shell. So that's a danger. Good goalkeepers, man, always, they're constantly talking. They command the back line. They organize. They see the danger. They're the eyes of the defenders. They see the game, right in front of them. So it swings and roundabouts, man. We
Yeah.
have to be clever in this. I'd love for you to just go and get an Oblak. I just don't feel it's realistic at this point because of what I believe. I don't know. You guys probably agree. I think we all agree. I don't think we're going to be going and, here's an open checkbook. Ten Hag got back nice. I don't know if
Mm.
this is going to be it. We're going to have some money. If we can shift players, there'll be some money. But we keep talking about not the best or the most well known, but the right ones. Dorgu seems to be the right one, and there's lots of room to improve yet. So
Yeah.
it's a good signing. Euro is a good signing. So it's
Mr.
not
B
all
comes in
bad.
and say to you, Bombaye, you might be looking for the right players, but INEOS are looking for cheap young players. They want to make money, not win. And
Well,
I think you're onto something, Mr. B. I think
well,
that's our issue.
well, man. What I keep saying is the same thing.
Mm.
We have to wait. We'll know everything we need to know about this summer transfer window when it comes. What I'm looking for is business to be done early, the ability to sell players that are surplus to requirements, and to get players that Amorim is happy with. I hope Amorim is going to make it known if he's not backed in some sort of way and not be a yes man and just think, right, I'm at United, I'll work with it, I'll keep going and prolong the process unnecessarily because we're skimping on a few million here and there. I don't want that. And this is also a danger with a young manager that's, made a massive step up to the biggest club, and he's in charge of it. Because you're going to take the bullets next season, Rubes. I'll just let you know now. This season,
Yeah,
you're not taking them. Next year, you're taking bullets. He's already taken them, but next season, if it's like this, then me, everybody,
the
you're
heat will be
taking.
on.
We heat will be on, and if you're
Yeah.
going to give them a pass because you don't say anything, it's up to you.
I see Yalaman Mean comes in and say there's something out about Semenyo. So let me see if I can find it here. Here we go.
Can I just say before you go, Jarvis?
Yeah.
Lilas is back in hospital again. He left a message on the video I posted this evening. We just want to wish him well, speedy recovery, and inshallah he'll be all right. But he's back in hospital again with a heart. He said to pray for him, and we'll be praying for him.
Lillis.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better, Lillis. All the best for you.
He's back in hospital.
Sending love.
Bro, where's Lillis from?
He lives in Macedonia, but he's Turkish and I think Macedonian.
Okay.
Good guy. Always supportive of this channel and United Real Therapy. So yeah,
he'll be all right.
Legend. This one came out. Ruben is very fond of Antoine Semenyo. Bournemouth would want in excess of £65 million to sell him. David Ornstein is reporting.
Man.
But we talked about Semenyo.
He's £65 million. What the hell, man? £65 million for Semenyo. What's the world coming to?
No, he's not. He's worth 25 million, 30 million, Jarvis.
So it's a no-go?
No-go. Not for 60. Are you taking the piss?
I mean,
it's not. To me, I wouldn't even pay 50 for him.
Nah, no way, bro. He's
35 million at the most.
It depends how you structure the deal, but if you could go for 65, let's say 40 plus add-ons, 25, something.
Nah, man. Do you know
amortization over five
I'm
years.
I'm tired. I'm tired now because we keep doing this, paying ridiculous amounts of money. We know the players are not worth that amount of money, and if it doesn't work out, now what do you do? You're either taking a massive hit on 65 million, and I don't think we're going to be giving out them silly wages we've been giving out under INEOS before. But
Mm.
65 million, I mean, really, he's strong, he's fast, he's got a good engine. I like him. He's a decent player. He's a decent player. He's nothing to rave about. He might be effective as a right wing back. Okay, I don't say no. But 65 million pound from Bournemouth. I mean, since when? What world are we living in here? This is not the Premier League of 5 years ago. Money is tight. Everybody, money is tight. So 65 million pounds, I don't know, mate. I'm passing on that.
Okay, let's go into it. Semenyo this season, he's played 30 games, 7 goals, 4 assists.
65 million for that.
It's decent. He's 25 years old, so he's on his second contract. I think that's not bad. He's both-footed. He can play with both right and left foot. And he's let's see.
Where's the stats?
So this is what the stats say. So let's. Okay, he takes a lot of shots, 3.6 shots a game, and on average.
Are they on target?
No, shots in total.
Okay.
Yeah, and progressive carries. He likes to carry the ball, 4.22 a game. That's decent. I think that will suit Amorim. Successful take-ons. He dribbles 2 guys, 2.13 a game, so that's good. And he's really hardworking. You see, he's in the 98th percentile when it comes to blocks, 82 percentile clearances, and aerial.
But Jarvis,
so he's a hardworking guy. So he could most likely work as a wing back. Tackles, blocks, clearances, aerials.
He's good because I saw that live with my own eyes, Jarvis. I saw them doing that, locking us down on that side, live in the game. But I'm afraid I need the other stats to be higher because Manchester United need attacking players who can get past people. I'm gonna, when you play 5 at the back, I'm gonna ask the other players to do a lot of the defensive work. I want my 3 forwards to be damned to do damage.
But he's Premier League proven. He's done it in the Prem.
Yes, but I want
he would probably come in and do okay. I see similarities. Let's say Valencia, kind of a Valencia type of player.
Jarvis, but we don't need. I don't need somebody who's going to do okay. He's somebody who's going to get goals. We need goal scorers. I can't say this enough, people. We need people who know to go to goal to direct. The quickest way they can get to goal, they can carry that ball and smash goals in. That's what we need. We need goals.
I could see him playing as a right back, as I said, but the price is way too high, especially if it's going to affect the strengthening of other key areas. If the price is reasonable, I don't say no. I'm not like, oh my God, yes, he's gonna. I think he'll be good because, as Nuruddin said, the guy works. He is competent in those attacking areas more than Delo. He has the qualities that you are talking about that, we can utilize. Then you ask yourself, who wants to play? Which guy that plays as an orthodox winger or an inverted forward wants the additional workload that Amorim requires from wide players? That's another question. If somebody offers him to play at Arsenal or City, it's a more attractive proposition from that sense. It's this system, man. You have to work your ass off in that position.
It's true. It's true. Dave comes in and say game change. This is what we need. But I created a poll on Semenyo, yes or no. So get your vote in. I'm curious to hear the devilish tacticals. What do you mean about Semenyo? For me, I would say it depends on the deal. Let's say, as I said, 45 million plus 20 add-ons over 5 years. I would go for that. I will be okay with that. That will cost us like 10 million a year. I think we can do that. And I think we need a hard-working, robust winger. I think this is what the system needs: hardworking, robust wingers, not the Dallo.
I genuinely
Can't cross and do anything.
I I respect you properly.
Yeah,
I think he's a decent shout, but for me, he's not, from the stats he got and what I watched him, he does not threaten the goal enough for me. He's not a goal. We need guys who want to play the wing back, left and right, who are goal scorers, who can go to goal, who can isolate footballers and go to goal. That's what Manchester United need. You know who I want to play wing back? Dogu and the other kid, Savio, the guy who's at Man City. Those are those two wingers. That's who I'll get them to play wing back. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Man City guys. That Savio kid, he's 21 years old. I mean, if you get his stats up, Jarvis.
He is nice, bro. He is nice.
Jarvis is one of the youngest to have 8 assists in the Premier League at his age, at the age of 21. And people are saying he's had a terrible season at Man City. If that's a terrible season, he's still up 8 goals this season, and he's having a terrible season.
Nah,
and some
but
games he doesn't even play. He doesn't even play some games. Savio, is that his name? Savio,
yeah.
Listen, don't forget, man. What you're saying, Lloyd, in there.
He's the type of people that I want.
Is what Ruben Amorim made a statement, if you recall, when we were asking ourselves, and I asked you guys, you know better than me, maybe what he had at Sporting. I have no idea. They asked him, are you going to play attacking like orthodox wingers and teach them to defend, or are you going to play defenders and get them to attack? He said, no, I'm going to start with defenders. Do you know what I mean? Because it's harder to get attackers to defend. So again, the profile changes. We're looking at Semenyo there. We're concentrating on robust, strength, engine, defensively good, attacking okay. But Nuruddin's saying, nah, get Savio in, get back and do your work, and then kill it going forward. So I don't disagree with Nuruddin as well, because we need potency, man. We need killers up there. We do need that. You know what I mean? And these wing-back positions, they are just a very awkward thing in Amorim's system. I've never had to choose a player in this way. I'm not lying. That's one of the issues I've got. But Amad Diallo, what's wrong with him playing as a wing-back? I think he's done really well in that position. He scores goals. He tracks back. He doesn't have to be Paolo Maldini in this system. He just has to, do his work, know where he is.
Lenny Yoro, you mean? Lenny Yoro.
No, you know what I'm saying. I mean, the wing backs, they don't have to be like defensively Paolo Maldini, Baresi quality, but you have to understand where you are. Anthony, as bad as he was, we thought like, you know what? No, we can never say he doesn't get back and put a shift in that way. But he's just awful going the other end. So Nuruddin's got a point as well. But that does open up the debate, and it opens up the possibilities. Maybe we should be going for, real high quality man in that final third that understand and are willing to do the work coming back. Man, Mourinho got Sami Etu playing in that position.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he gave him a treble. Etu said for Mourinho, when he asked me, I will never do that again for anybody else. So it is doable. Do you know what I mean? I like Nuruddin's idea as well. I'm looking at this a little bit wrong. He's right, I think, to an extent.
We need goals. We need goals. We lack goals. Goals change games. We need people who can flip and put the ball at the back of the net or assist. That's what we need in this team. This is what we lack. Look at the amount of goals in the past, how many seasons now? Second season in a row, we're going to be minus goal difference. We need goal scorers. We need people who can isolate people and gonna put the ball in. That's what we need. And for me, Semenyo is a good player. He's a good player. I would take him for 35 to 40 million. Yes, I would. But he's not the guy who's gonna go to
lead the lines. Yeah.
Savio is the guy who would assist and score goals. To me, I need a Mahrez type of guy. Mahrez. That's the type of quality I need. Who's a killer. Twist people up, put it at the back of the net. Someone like
What
Leroy
about
Sané. Remember Leroy Sané? Finish
what
it,
about this
bang,
guy?
left foot. As soon as he got a chance on that side.
This is the guy we should have gotten 1 year ago.
Yeah,
Michael Elise.
Remember what Ineos said? Ineos said he was their number one target. They came out and said Jarvis, and then what did Bayern Munich do? Bam, boom, see you later.
How's he doing? Let's make that larger. Let's check him out.
8 goals, 10 assists in the
29
Bundesliga. Let's see. Let's try to. Nah, I can't. Okay, so you see here 8 goals, 10 assists, and 5 goals, 2 assists in the Champions League. So he's doing well. The funny thing is, if you look at his stats, it's something else. Look at this. Screen all over the place. Besides, when you go to the defensive things, tackles, interceptions, clearances, and aerials, he's around 50. But it's not green. But
Do you
look
know
at
what?
this.
Just go Galactico. We're gonna go and just outscore everybody. Fuck it. Forget defending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like. But there was another question coming up about his teammate, Kluivert.
No.
I don't feel we need him, man.
Like
Kluivert's not gonna. I don't think Kluivert will improve us.
All due respect, Jarvis, he's having a
way
good
we want.
season. He's having a good season because the system, because they have a good coach. They have a really good coach who gets the best out of the players. And even Semenyo, I'm like, is it the system? That's another thing so we need to throw into the mix from Bayern and Jarvis. Certain footballers, the system makes them better than they look, better than they are. Once they leave that system,
I think. Do you reckon you could say that, Nuruddin, about Raheem Sterling? City's system, yeah. 5 goals left there, dried up. Chelsea dried up. Arsenal don't get a sniff.
Many players. Many players in Weather. Now that every team plays with a set system, and most coaches try to get their forwards to get the best out of them in the system. So I'm even suspicious of Semenyo. Manchester United have made me so paranoid, being suspicious of every coach that comes from abroad, being suspicious of every player that we sign. I'm like, is it the system that made him look good, or is it actually that good?
I don't know. I rate Kluivert. I rate him, but I think he's not physical enough. I think he's too small. I think we need, I would say, stronger, bigger players.
I think these players we're talking
we have
about.
Garnacho, we have Ahmad, we have too many Bruno, too many of those small guys. We need more muscles, more power. So Kluivert is not it for me.
Nah, I don't think he exponentially improves you. He's not going to play as a wing back. You want to put him in a 10. Zirkzee is better than Kluivert for me. Bruno's better than Kluivert for me. A fit Mount is better than Kluivert for me. I don't see it really. It doesn't add the kind of value him occupying a space in the squad. And I don't know what kind of silly price they're going to come up with either.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And Semenyo, to me, it's like having... do you know what I mean? He's raw, but I think he lacks technical ability, Semenyo, when I watch him. He's cumbersome, you know. He's a big, strong unit, fast. He's got good qualities that we could use. But again, when you're talking about like killers, just killer instinct, classy, know what to do, how to move, the guile in that final third when things are tight. You're talking about the guy Nuruddin's mentioning there. Straight away, I looked at him first game. I was like, whoa, who's this? Lovely pair of feet, so light on his feet as well. Savio, don't know if you guys have watched him. Very, very nice player.
Yeah. Watching Xerxes run aimlessly around, he pulled his hamstring, summed up our season going nowhere. So yeah. So has there been any updates on Xerxes, Hammy? I haven't read anything today. Did he say anything in the press conference about his injury?
I'll check on fantasy football, see if he's available. If it's red or yellow.
Yeah, and it's a bit, I don't know, Luan. I don't know, Luan. If someone knows, please let us know. And we have Mick Ruby in the house coming in and say good morning from Thailand. Big up, Mick. Big up. If you want, jump on and say hi. You know, we are here. So, I think we can just jump to the Q&A. I don't have anything else lined up. So guys, girls, if you have any questions, bring them in, and we will do a Q&A session. So let me just play the video. There it is. Nuruddin loves that beat. Look at him dancing around.
It
I
is
see
nice.
Put
Nuruddin.
that beat back on, man. I love that tune, mate. That's just a tune.
Can I get
That's an
rewind?
absolute tune. Reload, my selector. Reload.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear what Capello said about Josh Xerxes?
No.
Yeah, I'll just tell you quickly, just a few lines there. So, Bologna manager Vincenzo faced two English teams in in Europe. One of them was Villa, and Capello asked him, like, "How did you feel?" Well, he goes, they run, they go faster, they have a different pace to us in the Serie A." Capello believes Serie A, a lot of teams are trying to do what Pep does, but at a much slower pace, so it doesn't yield the desired results or the same results as City. Asked about Xerxes, he said, "Go and watch Xerxes play in the Premier League and tell me if he seems like the same player we admired in Bologna. In Italy, he did what he wanted. In England, he doesn't even have time to think about the play before the ball is stolen from him. More or less the same thing happens to our teams." That's what he's talking about, Italian football and Xerxes. But this, to be fair, was made after the Galatasaray game. So I think since then, Joshua Xerxes has made adaptations and gotten up to pace better. And because he's young, I think he will make the grade. I've been very impressed with him. But that tells you something about Italian players, adaptation periods. Or
Yeah, we've
Italian,
seen it before. It's always he's always with this when it comes to Serie A signings. I think it's difficult. I would rather us to sign
So
players
the
from
point
Primera
I'm
and Farm.
making is that this is why Onana dives 25 minutes after the shit's gone in the back of the net. You bought him from Serie A. Email me. Shall I dive? Oh, dear, man.
Okay. Let's go into the Q&A, guys, girls. If you haven't get your questions in, I have someone start from the beginning of the show. So let's just bring some of them up. This one from Mr. B comes in and say, "Do you guys think we need a little bit older and more proven players?" Umaye,
Yeah, we do.
I'll give this to you.
Yeah, of course we do. I'd like, 2, 3 older heads, especially when you think if Casemiro's going, Ericsson's going, Rashford is going. That's 3 older statesmen, highly experienced, can help a very young side, very young side. And this is part of the reasoning when we discuss Bruno. This is part of the reasoning when I'm talking about the difficulties of this first season with a lot of youth in it. You need experience, especially experience that's not only played the game, but if achieved a few things always helps. Because what we're trying to do at Manchester United, and one of the hardest thing to do, is foster a culture that breeds a mentality of professionalism, winning, like the old Manchester United, regimented. Do you know? That's what we're trying to do here. And the mentality of Man United, you can't blame this group of players for not having that mentality because, that mentality is in the annals of the ghosts that used to exist. It's been 12 years. 12 years, 10 managers, 50,000 new players. And League Cup and FA Cup is our bread and butter now, cup team style. So you understand what I mean? It's different when Pep walks into City. Mancini gives him, or Pellegrini gives him 2 Premier League titles, one as recent as 24 months ago. Every season, Champions League quarters, semis, 7, 8 players, winners, internationals, top leaders. Pep comes in, here's another 250 million, go and do your shit. Pep walks into this team. Yeah, you don't have that luxury, brother. You got to build these players up into it, knowing we don't lose games. We don't know how, we only know how to win games. You know, you put a bit of pressure on here, they fold. So we definitely, Mr. B, could do with older, experienced heads in this team.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need more experience. I think we lack. We could see it in certain type of games, and especially now we're going deep into Europe. I think we will be okay on Thursday, to be honest. But next round, I think we most likely will go away in Bilbao.
Jarvis, you made me laugh. We're going deep into Europe, you know.
Yeah, deep into Europe. Deep
Man
into Europe.
United are going deep into European competition. That sounds unfamiliar. I don't hear that often, you know.
Yeah.
Ah,
A lot of good questions coming in. Lovely question here from Wendy. I will give this to
we got
Noradin.
Wendy.
And she's saying someone asked on another site, would a great team with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Pogba, Martial, Rashford, Fred, McTominay be better than what we have now? Would they be in the top 6 fighting for top 4? So Noradin, this is for you. What do you reckon? Do you think the old players we had would have done better than what we have now? De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Pogba, Martial, Rashford, Fred, McTominay.
You're muted, bro.
Sorry, there's definitely goals there, goals and creativity, and a goalkeeper that can actually make saves.
Yeah.
And if you add Greenwood, if that thing didn't happen, if you add Greenwood to that, we would have a decent. We already saw Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood scored 65 goals during lockdown season.
Yeah.
It's true. But most of the goals were counter-attacking style
Yeah,
goals.
that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you. So, in the end of the day, that's what that is. That type of football, they would have scored goals.
And
But
even Pogba contributed about 10 goals in this. Yeah.
That group of players, I think, if I was to answer that question, I'd put aside the system. I'd just look at pure ability. I think the players we mentioned there are better than the players that we have now.
It's a good question. Thank you, Wendy, for bringing it up. Nas comes in and say, honest question, will our fan base wake up and understand that throwing money at things doesn't fix a team? In the Premier League, every team has money, but we are the Super League. We need structure. So yeah, I agree with when it comes to this. Throwing money can't fix everything, but we need to buy players because the quality of our players at the current stage are not good enough. So that's the biggest question. Can you guys just give me 1 second? Bumbaye, can you answer this?
Yeah.
Let's answer this. Honest question, Bumbaye says, will your fan base wake up and understand that throwing money at things doesn't fix a team? In the Premier League, every team has money. We are the Super League. We need a structure.
Yeah, it's 100% true because we're one of the highest spending teams. We had one of the highest wage bills. And what happened after Alex Ferguson left is the Glazers were making so much money that they just thought they can just throw money at this thing. And if you spent that much and you don't have a plan, a long-term plan, and you're not focused on the pitch as much as you are on the commercial side, you'll start to look like we look today, Man United. And Barcelona suffered a little bit, but they came to their senses quick. They went and started buying £100 million players left, right, and centre, if you remember. Dembele didn't work out. Coutinho was an absolute flop. Griezmann, nothing. You know, there's over £300 million in players there. They did that because it's the only way you think short term we can stay competitive. But you can sign Pogba, you can sign Alexis Sanchez, you can sign. Don't guarantee anything, man. You need the right ideas. Klopp has achieved greatness for Liverpool. He spent 30% of what Pep and Man United have spent in the same period if you look at the transfers. So you need money, but you need a plan because we're just throwing money and not, that's why is
Now we're
everybody
not throwing money
failing?
anymore. But
Not
listen,
anymore, but that's
uh,
what he was saying. Do you know what I mean, bro? We
let me,
have to have a
yeah,
plan. So
I'll
I
let you
agree with
finish.
that.
I'll let you land.
Done, landed.
Okay, so the best thing is you have to have money. If you want to compete, you have to have money. But then you have to have the structure that,
Yeah.
first of all, the football club has to decide what system they're going to play.
Mm.
Then they decide on what coach to have. And then understand that if they get rid of that coach, the other coaches that they have already in thinking about in the future can play to that same system. So you're not buying new players for every coach. The club decides how they play. You get a coach that fits with that philosophy. Then you find the players fits with that philosophy. Then you find other coaches when you get rid of that coach that can coach to that philosophy. And that's how you stay without spending so much money. At the end of the day, Manchester United do not have a football structure. Now we have people. Now we have people who are as incompetent as the Glazers. So I don't know how to believe. Big up Peter, by the way. Big up Peter in the
Pete.
chat.
Yeah.
Big up Peter. Peter, give me a call. Let's have a chat. Anyway, I'll put that aside. I say that simple for me. Money is most needed. If you don't have money to invest in, Manchester United need huge lot of investment. They need money to be able to get rid of the debt so that doesn't cost us in the PSR. Then what they need is then to be able to look and specifically target certain players that fit in the system when the club decide what the system is. Then you hire coaches that fit into that system.
Okay.
Yeah, big up, Pete. Always love.
Big up. Next question coming up. Let's see. So many of them coming in. Thank you guys for bringing the question. It's one here from John Simlock. You say, hello team, nice show, and a quick question. What is acceptable, realistic next year, regardless of who is on the wheel? So
10th or higher.
Would you accept us coming in 9 in Amorim's second season if he's backed?
Yeah, top 10, top 9, top 8. It depends. So if he's giving 5 or 6 players that go into the starting lineup, then yeah, then okay. I would say okay, then you would think maybe 7th or 8th. But for me, top 10. We have to. You know what it's called, Jarvis? We have to crawl before we
baby steps.
Before we sprint. And you know what, Jarvis? We've tried to cut too many short corners in the last 13 years. And where has it gotten us? I'm asking you both. Where has the short corners gotten us, Bumbaye? Zilt.
To where we are, bro.
Now we need to crawl, then walk, then sprint.
I think for me, man, next season, obviously, I don't want to become.
Sorry, Bumbaye. Let me just add this thing. For me, next season, it's not even why we finish top 10. The football. I want to go to Old Trafford next season, Jarvis. I want to go to Old Trafford and see good football. I've been starved. So 13 years of starvation.
Yeah, honestly. So that was basically, what I mean, if as football.
I want to see combination play.
Man, how can I put this? He just said what I was about to say. In football terms, I'm a child caught in flipping war-torn country getting bombed out with no food when it comes to that type of football. I've not seen anything from so long. So it's all about how we play, how we progress. Like I say, I need something to hang on to and believe in. That's the first thing. And then obviously there is some standards that have to be in place. You are not going to get another season where you can just kill it and go, plummet in the league. He knows that. But one of the most important thing, along with whatever you want to attach to it, is we have to start performing consistently and start to look like a team that is not going to get rolled over every single week and play a brand of football that is at least watchable and decent. And if we get that, man, we build from there.
Yep. Fair enough. Next question coming in from Trev. Big up, Trev. Question: what is the first player you would get rid of out of these players? Dallo, Onana, or Højlund?
Onana, take care. Onana,
No,
take care.
not alone.
Onana, it was not a pleasure. Onana, I said it from day one. Onana, bye. Onana, see you later. Diego Dalot.
I'm with him.
I think I would send. You know what? I would send Højlund on loan, and I would cash in on Diego Dalot and get rid of Onana.
I'm not like get rid of Dalot. He's the worst. I'm not that with Dalot, me. But Onana would be the first out the door at this point. And Højlund, man, is just offering nothing at the moment. So
I'm sorry, Bumbaye. If Diego Dalot stays, he will be on the team sheet every day, every week on the Amorim's reign, and he will play on the right side of wing back. So I'm sorry, we need to get rid and give the manager somebody who, like I said to you, I'm saying to both of you, we need goal scorers. We demand goal scorers. People who can play on the wing backs, who can score goals, who can go to goal directly and kill us. That's what Manchester United need.
Hey, let's go. Listen, if Onana was a domestic appliance, what would he be? I'd say like a washer dryer.
Oh God, that's a bit harsh.
Maguire would be one of them American style fridges, man.
Yeah, one of those fridges. Ahmad is free from 10 haram comes in and say, is it possible to watch good football with wingbacks? We won't ever see players like Doué or Yamal playing for us.
Man,
we don't have the old-fashioned winger. And United, we are stacked with good old-fashioned wingers. We all remember Giggs, Beckham, Kanchelskis, so many of them through the years.
Steve Coppell, you remember Steve Coppell?
Steve Coppell, yes.
Norman Whiteside, 17 years old was he, Jarvis? 16. Ronaldo, Beckham, Giggs, Sharp. You know?
Look, this system might be
Nani.
A system.
Oh God, this team will need. Oh God, what I would do with a young Nani right now.
He's a beautiful player, Nani. I love Nani, but this system again, you've got to understand.
Gordon Hill, Alien Tenno's taking it back. Bloody hell, Gordon bloody Blimey Hill,
brother of Benny Hill.
No, it's Benny Hill now. Gordon Hill was a decent player.
Jesper Olsen, the old Danish guy we had.
Olsen,
it was good.
Poborski, Karol Poborski.
Was a winger.
Who was Cruyff? Did Cruyff a winger? Was he a striker?
Nah, Jordi was central, isn't it?
Was he central?
Simply Jordi.
Blomqvist,
yeah.
Was he Norwegian?
No, Swedish.
This system of Amorim's, let's say part of this is, I hope it's going to be like enjoyable to watch. I don't know. Did anybody watch Sport in Lisbon? What are they enjoyable? Do you like it? Did you enjoy it? We've sacked managers before because we don't like the football, even though the results were 10 times better than this. You know, that's part of the remit why everybody said we want Erik ten Hag. We want to play sexy football. Didn't work out. But this guy, you might not like the end product. It might not be what you visualized, because this, like I say, for me, I've never had to choose wide players in the way that I'm having to choose them now. I can't just say, go and get Savio. I have to say it with the hope that he can do a lot more than what I usually expect from a winger. So that's a little bit of a turn-off, but I guess we're going to have to cross that bridge when we get there. But I tell you what, man, that Desiree Doué is nice. Obviously, everybody
Yeah,
knows
he's
Yamal. For
brilliant.
me, Desiree Doué, I was introduced to him again in the 2 legs that I saw at Liverpool. Very, very, very nice player.
But to answer Ahmad's question, I feel we can play. It's possible to watch good football, but we don't have the right players. I agree with Jay. Sporting Lisbon played beautiful football. Ajax under Ten Hag played beautiful football. So why can't they play beautiful football at Man United? I think that's
I
a
hope
good
so.
comment. Big up,
Yeah, I
Jay.
hope
Big
so.
up.
Yeah, I'm talking from a position of I don't know. I've never watched Sporting.
But he brings out a good point. You know, we all
Yeah.
we all miss the good old fashioned winger. That's
Listen,
for sure.
listen. At the end of the day, I'm telling you, I think the only way to be secure in a team like Manchester United is to play 4-3-3. I don't agree with the system, but I'm going with it because that's what got him success. But Manchester United should be a 4-3-3 team. We should have 3 players in midfield with the likes of what we had. The best midfield we had in a long time was Carrick, Hargreaves, and Scholes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And since then, we've not had any midfield that even come close. The closest we got was Matic, Pogba, Bruno, and look what we did. They created so many goals for so many players. Our 3 attacking forwards
You
in
mean
lockdown season.
Herrera, Matic, Pogba, Herrera?
Yeah, Matic, Pogba, Herrera. That was the closest thing.
Yeah, it was balanced. That was a balanced midfield. I like that. But we had and Herrera was so underrated. I think Herrera is one of the most underrated midfielders.
He's one of the biggest guys that I hate this football club for because they signed him and then they didn't want to renew his contract. And it was Ollie actually who threw him under the bus. And I feel so bad.
What would I do for a Michael Carrick, man?
Yeah.
He wasn't my favorite, by the way, in that 3. He was my least favorite, Michael Carrick. But in that, the chemistry worked with Hargreaves and Scholes. It worked.
Michael Carrick is a grand piano of a player.
I give it a rest.
Yeah. Talking about 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1. Mr. B comes in and say, if this failed 3-4-3 system is the new standard, why do our youth team still play 4-3-3? 4-3-3-1.
That's not for me. I don't know anything about the youth.
So. But that's a good question.
I think some of them are starting to play. Some of them now have started to play with wing back. Some of them. 3-4-3. For me, the biggest thing, Jarvis, it's not even a 3-4-3 thing. Majority, actually, of teams, certain teams in the Premier League this season, you found out, Jarvis, that they're actually quite flexible. They'll go to a back 3. They'll go to wing backs. They'll go to, you know what I mean? They'll play 3-4-3. You know what I mean? Or they'll just go to 4-3-3. Simple. Whatever. They'll fit. It's about having a tactical flexibility. But at the end of the day, I think Manchester United are a 4-3-3 team. But this club doubled down and went and got even a coach who has a specific system that does not work like with the players that we had. And the guy they sacked who said, no, this is not going to work was An Ashworth.
No, I want to ask you and Jarvis a question. Okay. And this is because of what you said just earlier about how you explained how you set up the vision, the future. When Nas asked the money question, you said you get a manager that plays the way that you want to play and you get the right players. Is this what Amorim's doing now unique to Premier League? Or is this just a common thing? The reason I'm asking that is I'm not sure. I don't watch a lot of football this season. I'm just watching United, really. That's it. And a few games.
Talking about Conte.
No, I'm not even going into Conte. I'm asking you this because if we go and buy players now for Amorim, Jarvis, Dino, and it doesn't work, we have to get a manager that plays this kind of football to accommodate these players, or like what? If it didn't work out and he goes, and we're getting players, and this is quite a unique specialist way of playing, then we're going to have a team that's either very defensively heavy, and we're going to, have to make some serious changes again with changing the way we play. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Is there continuity with this? Or is this just the way everyone plays football and I need to watch?
We don't know. We do not know yet because not Eric Tennant. Amorim has not had his players. If he gets 5-6 players, and we actually see players who can fit into that system. But for me, for that system, Maguire has to go, Lindelöf has to go, Diego Dalot has to go, Onana has to go.
Yeah, I get what you say. I know that part. But what I'm asking is, if Amorim goes, bro, then what happens with the team that we've got?
Oh, I think this team can play 4-3-3.
Okay.
Whatever team he leaves can play 4-3-3.
It's
not about the system. It's about the quality of the players. I don't think it's about the system. It's the quality of the players and how good they are taking in tactical information. The system, to be fair, the rest defense, other than the wing backs, the only difference in this system is that how he wants to place the wing backs. But everything else, the Premier League plays a bit like that anyway. Like you have a rest defense of 3 when you're doing build up. You know, you build up in a 3, don't you? And then you go through the, you know. But for me, Maguire cannot be there. Lindelöf cannot be there. My Casemiro cannot be there. Diego Dalot cannot be there. Who's starting the team? Højlund, unfortunately, he has to develop. And I think he might have to go on loan to develop.
It won't happen. It won't happen. I've given up on Højlund. Honestly, I'm giving up. He's not good enough.
I have to watch Crystal Palace and Brentford, man. Apparently they play a little bit like us, especially Palace.
Yeah, Palace play... is it Glasner, the manager? Yeah. 3-4-3. But I think they play more of a 3-5-2 with 2 strikers, 2 up front.
That's all right.
Yeah. One last question of the night. It's from Dave. Dav147 is a question. If Amorim doesn't pick up another win from here, should he start next season as manager? Are we on a free hit or not? That's the thing. Are we giving him a free pass?
Do you know what I mean? We are giving him a free
pass. The club have given him a free hit. The club has given him a free hit. He came out and said, Dave, big up Dave. Where were you when he said, they've said to me, start now. Start now. That's what they said. Meaning the hierarchy have told him to start to try to implement with the totally wrong players for your system, but start now.
I mean, if I was speaking to Amorim and I said to him, you know, take a free hit, a little percentage of that is figurative. If he's not going to win a single game to the end of the season, I'll just say, you know, I mean, what do you want? Here, I'll bend over. You want to shaft me? Get us a couple of frigging points in these last 8 games. Do something. So
theoretically, we just need 3 wins
to stay safe.
No, to salvage the season.
Oh right, okay.
We have to win on Thursday. We have to win one of the 2 games in the semi-final with more goals than the first, and we have to win the final. So theoretically, three games. We don't even have to win them. We have to draw them, win on penalties.
I just thought you're right, because I'm just looking at it from Premier League. But no. So there we go. Dave, it's proper in your face, that question Dave's hit me with. It's hard to answer.
We could actually salvage the season without winning another game this season.
Yeah.
3 draws and 3 penalties. That will be.
Do you realize where Man United fans were talking like this in 2025?
Yeah, we are terrible. We are terrible.
Wow.
Okay, I have one more last question from Ahmad. He's free from 10 around. But after that, stay tuned. Don't go yet. I have one good news. I want to break with you. So after this last question, so just stay and smash the like if you haven't. This is the question from Ahmad. Is free from 10 haram. He say, how differently would you think the season would have been if we got our targets, Doué, Olise, and Neves? João Neves. And I think this notion that we're only going for mediocre talent is wrong. So basically, we could have signed 3 star players.
Desiree Doué, we could have signed him.
We were linked to him last summer. Doué, Olise, and Neves. And the season would have been massively differently, I think.
Yeah, you would have scored goals, man.
Yeah. Especially Neves, because I think we are a lack of a deep playing playmaker. We need a guy who can bring the ball from the back to the midfield. And this is what we're lacking.
Jarvis,
We
is
struggle.
Neves the guy that played for Wolves and went to Saudi?
No. He's the guy who played for, I think it was Benfica and went to PSG. He plays now with Vitinha in the PSG midfield. He's brilliant player.
Portuguese,
Yes.
short brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Fucking hell, man! What a disaster. Sorry
Yeah.
to swear, but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
3
It's a
super
good
players.
question. It's a good question. But thank you, Amatis, free for time and Haram. I think we should wrap up, but I promise you some good news before we end the show. And it's this one.
Let's have a
Looking for
look.
positives. We only have 6 weeks left with Victor Lindelöf as a Man United player. It's been a rough 8 years watching him play for us. So, little
Oh,
applause. 6 more weeks, and Lindelöf will be off. Sayonara.
contract's finished.
Ha det bra. Dra till Sverige.
His contract's over.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So okay. Wow. So it's definite. Okay. Good. That is good news. Nice way. Nice finish.
Did I lose a question from Luan? Luan, I will always answer your questions. Give me 2 seconds. I will just scroll up and see if I can find it. Is it this one?
Scotty Mac scored a brace in a 3-0 win an hour or so ago. Should we have kept him considering our lack of goals and his contributions and his goal contributions?
I'll give that to Nordin. Should we have kept Scotty?
You should have given that to me, man.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
No, I'm happy for him. He's in a title challenge. I'm happy for him. I wish him nothing but the best. But Scott McTominay, if you read his interview that came out a couple of weeks ago, he said he was never a number 6 or a number 8. He said goal scoring number 10, and Manchester United never used him in that. And he's just a late arrival goal guy. And that's why that league is on fraud watch, because I've seen him rolling over the ball. He could never play in the middle, other than a sub to bring on to try to get balls into the box and for him to crash it. I'm sorry. Manchester United want to play construct and open teams up. I'm glad he's not here, and I'm glad that he's not saving. He didn't save Ten Hag, and he's not saving Amorim. If you want your football team to move on, you need to move on. Scott McTominay was never the answer at number 8 or number 6. Never. And I didn't say that. That came from his own mouth.
Okay. Boumbaye, I know what you will say. You would have kept McTominay.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, 100%, bro. Seeing what I'm seeing now, I'd have kept him. I'd have put him next to Ugarte in some games, and I've put him in 10 other games. And there's lots of moments where you think Scott McTominay would have been a really good guy to have at this moment in time. I think he's exactly what I would like to have had this season next to Ugarte, because of Kobe Mainu, Mason Mount. We're having to put Bruno there because defensively he's very good. He's a big guy, strong. He's got an eye for a goal, and he can actually drive the ball when space opens up. Watch his goal tonight. Space opens up. He gobbled space and lashed it into the bottom right-hand corner. Keeper could have done better, but that's the kind of thing you get with Scott. Headers in the box. So I think for me, yeah, man, I was sad that he went. I'm really happy it's working out, but I'd have kept him. So what's happened to that guy, Brandon Williams?
I thought he was going to jail, like drunken driving or speeding or something like that.
Yeah, I think Wendy's saying so. Pray for him, or is it?
I don't know.
Send positive thoughts to Brandon Williams.
Yeah, we can send positive thoughts. There's some updates. One last update before we go, and that's actually.
Nori muted, bro.
Can I just play a little audio of Brandon Williams? Please. Windy sent him to me, and this is him. Let me just play it. 1 second. Let me play it for the people. 1 second. Let me get into it. Hopefully, it will let me. Why is it not? Why is it not? Why is it? It's weird. It's not letting me do it. It's so weird. It's YouTube. Oh, here it is. There it is. Found it.
You haven't got a football club. What has happened?
So here we go. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Football club. It's been nearly a season, and you haven't got a football club. What has happened? Obviously, last time I was at a club was Ipswich. Did the August to the January there. Was doing really well. Ended up getting back end of the year. Had a few problems going on off the pitch. Obviously, I was with Kieran down there. He knows me as a player from United and from the academy days. He could see something wasn't right. So he said, I want you to go back to Manchester. After the game, I think we played Stoke on New Year's Day. Left me on the bench, said, I want you to go straight back to Manchester. Go get yourself sorted. Come back as Brandon. When I did come back to Manchester, things increased off the pitch with family problems, friends problems, and it just wasn't right for me to go back down. Ended up starting training again with a coach from United. Did that for about a month, and then it got to about April, and he was obviously pushing for promotion, so it wasn't right for me to go back down there. And then anyway, left that. Was watching them all the time, wishing them luck and everything. Still speaking to a lot of them, and then I just needed a summer. I needed to get away. I needed to get out of Manchester. I needed to just go clear my head. Went away. Went to Marbella for a month. Was out there by myself for like probably 2 of the weeks. I went out with friends, and then I was there. I just didn't want to come back to Manchester for a bit. And then, so I haven't been training now since March. Came back, and then my friends was worried about me, like Angel Gomez, Jimmy Garner, and Damani Miller, because I want training. I wasn't in I was staying in my apartment where I was at, wasn't moving, wasn't coming out. So they got in contact with a guy from United, and then Damani trains with a guy who's not too far away. He's a good coach. He's called Wayne Richardson. Brought me in, wanted me to start training with him again, but I've trained all my life. I didn't train for 6 months or something, like literally nothing. So it took a toll on my body. So when I did go and try and train again, like it was something just didn't feel right. My back was in bits. My legs was not right. But since then, I've been training now since August. Every day. Didn't get back on the pitch till like October time, and then just working hard now, getting back fit, feeling good now. Hopefully looking to get back a team for pre-season. It has been nearly a season.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what's happened to him. Bless him. Listen, a lot of the problems. Apparently, he's alleged. It's alleged that he has been on the balloons. You know, the balloon. You know, the balloon stuff and all of that. I mean, I can really, I feel so bad for him, and I can give a bit of context because I know where area he's from in Manchester, and all of the challenges, the destitution, the poverty, the conditions, and then you start playing for Manchester United, and when you get, I can only imagine when you're that age, and then the club's not stable enough, Jarvis. The club is not stable enough for them to give you that outside help, because when you're young and you become a professional footballer, it's a lot to take in, and then you're getting paid ridiculous amount of money. You know what I mean? What he was on, I don't know, he was on 20 grand or whatever, maybe more at Manchester United when he was playing. But I thought he promotion-wise, to get them back up to the Premier League, he was part of that promotion team, and he was doing really well, scoring goals, performing really well. We don't know what happened. One thing can happen to a footballer, just a young footballer. One thing can happen, and it could derail everything. If you don't have the right support system around you, it can really derail everything. So Ipswich let him go. There must be some really recent. Now, I'm not saying all of these are recent, but A lot of footballers get addicted to sleeping tablets. Some footballers addicted to gambling. Some footballers addicted to all sorts of different things, like the balloon stuff and stuff like that, and computer games, going out partying, drinking, all these things. But if you don't have people, if you got all these, there are all these distractions flying here everywhere. Try to live, because you're a Premier League footballer. Try to live a life of that's extravagant, and you know what? All of it can come crumbling down like that. The fact that he didn't train, it looked like he was depressed. From the way he didn't say depression, but everything he said was he went into serious depression after something dramatic happened to him in his life. And I just really, really feel really bad for him. Really, really. And because he's one of the local lads, like, you know what I mean? You want them to go and play for United. You want them to do well. But life sometimes, if the support system's not there, this can happen. And even if the support system's there, things can happen as a human being. Being a professional footballer is hard. To come in day in, day out, training to be consistent, it's hard. It's difficult. It's really difficult. So at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him. But he's still young enough to recover. He's still young enough to recover his career if he wants it. And I just hope that he's seeing a therapist and he's getting the help that he needs. Because what would hurt me is that a boy from the council estate living a dream. Actually, I love this aggression when he first came. Remember, when he came into the team, Luke Shaw, passive, fouling, he came in and started going up and down that wing.
Shithousery all the time.
Giving it everything. I want him to get back out there, but modern football can burn people. It can really burn young players. And I wish him nothing but best for him to get back. He's young enough. Brandon, you're young enough, fella. If you sort your head out, go and see a therapist. Change lifestyles. Get back. You can still get back. It's only, a year ago you were playing professional football at the highest level. Good luck to him. My heart breaks for him.
Yeah. When they comes in and say friends and family were on him for money, he said he had a hard time saying no. So Woodward had him on 65K a week. So yeah, some big money. But it's a sad story, and I think Peter had a good comment here when it comes to there's no safety net for any young players at Man United. And this really is done to the Glazers regime, in my opinion. So yeah, I agree with that, Adrian Tenno. It's not how it used to be with Ferguson and having people watching over the young guys. It was a different time, but it's starting to look bad. We have a lot of these cases, so it's not good. Last update, it's Man United are monitoring the situation of Patrick Schick. United prefer a younger profile of striker, but Schick is also considered interesting. Initial contact has been made by Bayer Leverkusen that would demand 25 to 30 million.
No, Travis.
I think it was Patrick Berger, the former Liverpool player, who reported this first. Yeah.
No, Travis. No. Let me please, Jarvis, give me 1 minute to explain this.
Please.
This is what is called classic example of using the name Manchester United to let other clubs know exactly what you're available for. So, what's the most followed team? One of the most monitored team on social media. Who is it? Manchester United. We're alongside Man City. I understand why Man City do it, but Manchester United do. Guess what they do? Gossip on their own website. For our fans globally. So what happens is this: Patrick Berger, his agent probably rang Patrick Berger and said, "Can you please mention Manchester United with this player?" So then now all clubs in Europe know he's available, and there are clubs watching him, scouting him, and now they're thinking, "Ooh, Manchester United." This is one of the. That's how it works. Link a player. Manchester United, every transfer window are linked to over 150 players on a regular.
Yeah, but we've been linked to this guy long time ago. You know, we
Jarvis,
remember before we
That's
signed
the question. Would you?
Jarvis, all of it is being to use his name. I
before
would
before we signed
definitely
Weghorst. This was one of the guys that Ten Hag wanted him.
for a loan.
Wanted him.
For a loan.
Nah,
For a
well,
loan.
no, for a buy. For a buy, and he's actually quite good. His stats are brilliant when you look at it. Is this season so far for Bayer Leverkusen? He scored 17 goals in the Bundesliga, 1 goal in the Champions League. But his age is the problem, I believe, for Ineos. He's 29 years of age. But he's a good non-penalty goals, 99, 97, 94, pass completion 90, touches. Yeah, so aerial ones. He's a decent striker. He's not a Jokenes or Osimhen, but he's a decent striker. Maybe he's our level.
Every time we look at a player now, get to that website, sign the green line. There you go.
You know what, Jarvis? You know what Jarvis is now? Jarvis is throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. Is that what you're doing, Jarvis? Throw everything on the wall. Let's see what sticks. You know, Jarvis is doing the pasta test. You know, the old pasta test. You used to get that. You know, bolognese, pasta bolognese. Used to get a little bit out of it.
Is it al dente? Al dente.
Exactly.
Well, it's been a good show, guys. I'm glad all of you people followed us now. We are on 115 viewers at the moment, 44 watching on YouTube. It's been a good stream. We are on. I
beg you, please, those of you watching on Twitter, please come back here. Please come on YouTube and smash the like and subscribe and come on, watch it on YouTube. Why are you being lazy? What's wrong with you guys? Help the channel.
Let people watch whatever they are. 57 likes. I'm grateful. Thank you, guys, girls, everyone. If you haven't smashed the like, please do. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We will be live every Monday night, 9 p.m. on Jarvis's Corner. And Stu and I will be here with match reactions and previews for every game. So it's been a good show. And thank you, Bombaye, and thank you. Thank you, Noradin, for jumping on. And by the way, people, if you want to watch more YouTube content, go to United Real Therapy and watch Noradin's latest video on Eric Cantona. Can you tell us a little bit about what's the latest video?
Yeah, so it was Cantona's comments. Cantona was over here for the derby, Manchester derby. Cantona has now become a member of FC United. He was just here in Manchester, you know, reconnecting with some of the fans. And they asked him about Jim Radcliffe. They asked him about Amorim. And he had a lot to say about Ferguson's role, that coming to an end, that ambassadorial role. He had a lot to say. He's got a lot of opinions. So, yeah. If you want to know,
interesting.
It's only 14 minutes video. It's a short one, 14 minutes.
Guys, go over to United Real Therapy, watch that show, smash the like and leave a comment and help out Noradin too, because YouTube are not helping any of us when it comes to pushing the videos out there. So we have to rely on you guys. So thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been a great stream, and we will be back, I would say maybe Wednesday, doing a preview for the Lyon game around 9-ish. So keep a lookout for that video, and we will see you on the next. So have a good one. And by the way, leave a comment in the non-live section. That will
I'll
be great.
be live tomorrow at 10:30, I think, or 10:45.
Yes, I will probably be there too.
Kung Fu kick the like button.
Yeah, for the preview, Leon preview around 10:30, 11. I'll be live tomorrow. Right.
Perfect. And thank you everybody for tuning in. Trevor Wade, Peter, Alien Tenno, Amadis Tenaram, Luan France, Matt House, Neil Driscoll, all of you legends, Danny B, Story, Visser, Genghis Khan, all of you, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. So have a good one and good night.